Boat? May the Force be with you.
No, the Schwartz.
How we looking, BD? Oh. Whatever it is, I'll have to wait until we get someplace safe.
And may the Schwartz be with you.
Star Wars Jedi Survivor is an action-adventure game developed by Respawn Entertainment and published by Electronic Arts. The game once again follows Cal Kestis, who begins his journey in this game as a resistance fighter working under Saw Gerrera. The mission is to steal military data from the Empire that they can use on their mission to take the Empire down. After the mission goes awry, Cal, BD-1, and the damaged Mantis make their way to Kobo, where Grease has been living, so that Grease can help fix the ship. Cal is sent to the Forest Array, where he experiences visions of two High Republic Jedi from hundreds of years ago. These visions show Cal that there is a place called Tanalorr, where it could be a potential place of safety from the Empire. So Cal sets off to find a way to this planet, and in doing so learns why the Jedi of old didn't use it for themselves.
The Emperor won't mind if I deliver you to him in pieces.
What? Did you really think you could capture me? You've got classified military intel stored on your yacht. And you just brought it right to me. Thanks, BD.
You'll burn for this.
That's mine.
I thought the story of this game was fantastic. A great sequel to the also great Jedi Fallen Order. The character development that takes place throughout the game is amazing and really kept me on the edge of my seat to see what would happen next. The beginning of the game can admittedly be a little slow at times as it is trying to set up the full story, but I did enjoy all the climbing puzzles and abilities you can get through these sections. This game on some planets are on a way bigger scale to anything in Fallen Order, even though Fallen Order had some pretty big areas also. This game just kind of takes that to the next level in that regard. But what makes the game already a step up on the traversal front is the inclusion of fast travel. Something that was desperately needed in Fallen Order, and I'm glad they finally added it here. You do this fast traveling by going to the meditation points where you then can fast travel to any other meditation point that you have discovered on the planet up to that point. Another thing that was made better in this game, and I was happy for that, was the map. Maybe the fast travel did kind of make that a little bit better because it allowed you to move to a section faster, but from what I saw, the map was a big step up as Fallen Order's map was kind of a tangled mess and really hard to keep straight as you were trying to find the area you needed to go to. That being said, this game is far from perfect. While there are some beautiful places to look at, there was also a decent amount of pop-in I ran into in the game, and also some bad texture issues that really need to be fixed as some got pretty bad. Oh. There's also an issue that I don't have a mustache anymore. I'm Amish. Is it just this area? And when I enter this area... There we go. Okay. When I enter this area, I lose control of mustache. So you can see where in the background it's trying to pop in, but it's not popping in. So, texture stuff. A lot of the issues I ran into was on Kobo, as that is the biggest planet in the game by a decent amount, and I think maybe it just wasn't as polished as the other planets you go to, as you will also run into a lot of frame rate issues on this planet, especially at the Rambler's Ranch outpost, which is kind of like the hub world for this planet. The game also crashed on me about 5 or 6 times during my playthrough, which I hope they're able to smooth over in the coming weeks, as the first crash happened about 6 minutes into the game, and that really had me nervous.
Terrorist.
You gonna let him call you that?
It's a good start. Yeah, I saw that one coming. The abilities you get in Fallen Order will also carry over to this game, which I think is a good thing because they didn't do what other games have done in the past, where they make you relearn all of the abilities, leaving you wonder how you forgot to use them in the first place. So if you've beaten Fallen Order, then the beginning of this game will be very familiar to you, making it easier to get comfortable with the controls. The game also gives you a variety of stances that you can use to change up the combat, including the single blade and the double blade, and new stances such as the dual blade, which is like having two separate lightsabers at once, just to name a few of these. These stances can be changed at meditation points along with perks that you receive while doing side missions and other activities throughout the game that gives Cal extra skills to work with. A lot of the combat is very similar to Fallen Order outside these different stances. How hard or easy the game is comes down to how good you are at timing your parries and your strikes to make sure you don't take unnecessary damage. This can be difficult against some bosses as they will use some different tactics to keep you guessing until you're able to figure out that particular boss's pattern. What's also important is the force abilities you can also use during combat, such as your force pull ability that allows you to pull enemies in to stab them with the lightsaber, or the push ability, which I personally find very useful as I love pushing enemies off of cliffs. Just taking in the view, just having a good time, thinking about his day, what he's gonna do tonight, and then dead! These abilities are not just used for combat though, as they are also very important in allowing you to complete the decent amount of puzzles you will do throughout the game. Just like in Fallen Order, there will be puzzles and obstacles early on that you will not have the ability for, so you will have to return to these areas later on to complete these sections if you are inclined to do so. A big part of this series overall is the climbing. It's kind of like Uncharted in space, which I've always loved. The climbing in this game I thought was more fluid and worked a lot better than in the previous game. While climbing, you no longer have to hold the left trigger on the controller to climb up something. You can just jump up and Cal will grab onto the area to climb automatically. This, I think, is a better way to do it instead of having to hold a trigger the whole game, because it's just kind of unnecessary in my opinion, especially when you will be doing a ton of climbing throughout the game. It's just better to streamline it. This game also has a decent amount of side missions and activities. I really enjoyed the side missions in this game as it seemed to give you more information into the world and the characters you will encounter, both good and bad. Some of these side missions include fighting bounty hunters, just like in Fallen Order, except that in this game there is a bounty hunter tree, so you can see how many bounty hunters are after you, so you can always be aware of how many are left. You will also run into a purple-looking cluster of light in a few places on each planet. These are called force tears. These are challenges where you have to fight waves of enemies that get harder as the challenge goes on. Completing these challenges will give you a skill point that you will be able to equip at the meditation point. Other activities include opening chests, finding essences, which these essences will either give you a skill point, raise your health meter, or raise your force meter. You can also collect different treasures throughout the game that you can use at the shops on the planets. What's inside these chests that I talked about is a ridiculous amount of customization that this game has to offer. You can customize every part of your lightsaber from head to toe. The chest also offers you many colors that you can equip to your lightsaber. You can even make your lightsaber multiple colors. If you wanted to have a pink primary color, but you wanted the grip of the saber to be purple, you can do that. You can even make the lightsaber 4 different colors if you wanted to. So you can make a rainbow looking lightsaber if you were inclined to do so, which I find awesome. Lightsaber parts and colors are not the only thing you find in the chest, as you will find different things for Cal to wear, from a bomber jacket to a Jedi robe, different hairstyles and facial hair that you can equip on Cal, and also a way to customize BD1 from his legs, his body, head, and his antennas, along with changing the color of BD entirely if you wanted to. This game just has a ridiculous amount of customization. So if customization is your thing, you will fall in love with this game pretty quick, especially as you collect more and more items as the game goes on. In the end, the story of this game is fantastic. The side stuff is fun, but I think the game was somewhat held down for now by technical issues that me and other players have ran into. If not for the technical issues, this is an easy Game of the Year contender, and to be honest, it may end up being one anyway. Survivor builds off the first game very well, and in my opinion is a better overall game than Fallen Order. But with the technical issues and the crashes I ran into, I will end up giving Star Wars Jedi Survivor, at this moment, an 8 out of 10. I played this game on PS5, so I know the PC version has had some more issues, so maybe that version may be at a lower score for some people. I am only going off my playthrough, which was on the PlayStation. That being said, once I put a few patches into the game to make it run a little better, especially on Kobo, I know this game is an easy 9 out of 10 and one of the best Star Wars games and series around, at least in recent memory. I can't wait to see where Respawn takes this series next, as I did see a report that came out stating that they have already planned a third game in the series. But what did you guys think of the game? Did you like it better or worse than I did? Let me know in the comments section below. But until then, that's going to do it for this review. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.